Hey everybody, I'm Joel.
I'm Scott.
From Meat Rushmore BBQ. Football season is here, and in Kansas City, we love to tailgate. You go out to Arrowhead Stadium on a Chiefs Sunday, and you'll see it's like a college atmosphere. That's what everybody says when they come into town. So today, we're gonna show you how to make our Hogzilla sandwich as we try to help the Chiefs go back to a third straight Super Bowl. The first part of our Hogzilla sandwich is gonna be to make our coleslaw for it. Scott, why don't you walk us through kind of what we've got here?
Sure. Yeah, we just got 2 bags of already pre-made coleslaw. So we're just gonna dump the mix in there.
So this is essentially just cabbage and carrots.
Cabbage and carrots. There we go. All right, guys, so as we get started here, we've got 1 bunch of cilantro. We've got 2 chopped up jalapenos and half of a red onion.
Go ahead and mix that up there.
Yeah. Now we also like to add kind of a store-bought slaw mix in there.
Yeah, this is the Marzetti slaw dressing. You certainly can make your own, and if you've got a recipe that you love for your coleslaw dressing, feel free to use it. This is just easy and it's really good. So we're gonna use 1 jar of that. The other thing that we like to put in, just to put a little salt and a little pepper to it, we're gonna use the Man Meat Real Texas style and just sprinkle a little bit of that in there. Using this Texas style, it's gonna give you a lot of salt, a lot of pepper, and there is a little bit of sugar in there too that's gonna bring a little bit of sweetness to it.
All right, guys, so what we're gonna be using today are the Prairie Fresh all-natural pork St. Louis style spare ribs. Tell you what, as I'm finishing this up, let me move you over to Joel. He's gonna get started on the pork.
Perfect. So our pork butt that we've got that we're gonna make pulled pork out of for this sandwich, it's a Prairie Fresh USA Prime. If you're not familiar with the USA Prime line, it's the top 10% of the pork that Prairie Fresh has. The top 10% of those hogs, they become part of their Prime line. We're gonna put a little bit of the Man Meat Texas style rub on it, and then we're gonna come back over the top with the JDQ, the OG.
Boom.
So this, again, the Texas style rub is gonna have a lot of salt, a lot of pepper. It's gonna really kind of give you a good base layer for whatever you're cooking, but especially on this pork, on this Prairie Fresh pork. And then we'll come back over it with the JDQ. Scott, I know growing up, you obviously, like myself, were a big Chiefs fan.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
your favorite, who's your favorite all-time Chiefs player?
Oh, wow. Right now, of course, it's Mahomes.
Well, of course.
Probably back in the day, I was a big Priest Holmes fan.
Ah, yes.
This guy was a beast.
That was, what was that he scored that year? Like 26 touchdowns or something?
It might have been even more than that. I don't really remember.
Something stupid. That was back with Vermeil and Trent Green and
Yeah.
Tony Gonzalez, who's my wife's favorite player.
Oh, yeah.
Tony Gonzalez is every woman in Kansas City's favorite Chiefs player ever.
Yeah.
Missouri was full of good football back then, you know, with the Rams still being there, and they were in their heyday with
I forgot about the Rams.
with Warner and Bulger and then Marshall Falk. And
Yeah.
how are we going to season up these ribs?
Okay, guys,
Scott?
so we're gonna use 2 different rubs. Again, we like to layer those flavors. So we're gonna start with the oaky dust. We're not gonna put a real heavy layer on there, but we are gonna season both sides. And then we're gonna follow that up with the JDQ sweet rub. See that right here? All right, Joel, and what do you think is kind of a good timeline to kind of let these set after we put the rub on them before we go to the
I usually like
smoker?
to let them sit out for, you know, an hour or so and let that rub kind of sweat in. You'll see that it goes from dry to a real wet consistency. And so what it's doing, it is actually pulling some moisture out, but then through osmosis, it's going to actually then come back in and allow you to get your seasoning a little bit deeper down into the meat. So you're gonna get your salt and your seasoning and such down in there. So we'll let these sit here for about an hour, and then we will be right back to throw them on the grill and show you what's going. We've got our Royal Oak charcoal coming up, getting hot in the Gateway drum smoker, and we'll see you guys here in a couple minutes. right, guys, we're ready to wrap our ribs. We've got the Gateway Drum Smokers and the Royal Oak Charcoal put a really nice color on these. So we're gonna wrap them up now and we're gonna get them to the tenderness. All right, so we've got all of our meats ready. The only thing that's left to do is to assemble this sandwich and enjoy the time with our family and friends before we go into the game. So what we've got first, our first step is we're gonna put a layer of pulled pork on each of these. This sandwich is gonna just light your friends up. They're gonna be so over the moon about it.
You're gonna be invited back for sure.
So the ribs, we're gonna have, obviously we don't wanna eat the bones, so we're gonna pull the bones. So you need to just cook them until those bones will kind of fall right out. And we're gonna put one on top of each of these. You've got one sausage link that we're gonna slice. So we're gonna slice it in half and then lengthwise. This is our homemade Polish sausage. And then Scott, do you want to throw some coleslaw on top there?
So this is the coleslaw that we made earlier. It's been in the fridge for a while, but what we're gonna do, we're just gonna scoop that right on top. This is gonna be a messy sandwich, so make sure you bring a lot of napkins and paper towels with you. And we're gonna add some of the man meat, the real spicy sauce to that. We'll put that right over the top. And of course, we're gonna make a mess with it, so just go ahead and plan on it. All right, here. Like to try to kind of bunch it up on there. Let's add just a little bit more, see if we can get any more on there. All right.
Perfect. A little bit of sauce here. We'll top them.
Grab to it.
All right. Tell me what you think.
All right. Ready?
Go Chiefs. Oh man.
Don't worry about this. It's okay.
You get the sweetness from the ribs and the pork, the creaminess from the coleslaw. That spicy man meat sauce was perfect.
It's amazing on there.
It just brought a little bit of a kick to it. Those flavors of that
Take another bite.
Garlic and that marjoram from the Polish sausage really comes through. Man. So make sure you make this at your next tailgate. Everybody's gonna love it. It's gonna be a hit. Come into Casey Grilling Company, get everything you need. See one of us if you have any questions. We can hook you up with everything that we use today. So, ready to go watch Chiefs?
Let's do it.
All right. Arrowhead chop?
Yes.
Oh. Go Chiefs!